Alright, so...
Are we recording?
Yes.
Welcome to Dusted Gamers. Today we're playing...
Flinthook. It's a new platformer kind of roguelite game.
Because we fucking love roguelikes.
So the persistence in this game works a couple different ways. You have a level that constantly goes up. Mm-hmm. Like you level up.
Right.
And then you can unlock permanent stuff. Mm-hmm. Like the amount of perks that you can get, and then of course the perks that you can get.
Like that thing you just got, was that permanent?
Yeah. Well, that lets me put a new perk on my set. That's what this was right here. Mm-hmm. But see, it's kind of like it's kind of like Call of Duty where you have like slots. Like I only can slot 7 things. I have 7 numbers. Mm-hmm. See, I have like different things set up.
Right.
So like I want to get more experience right now, and I got this thing that makes money come to me, stuff like that.
So it's kind of like the Pick 10 system, sort of.
Yeah. So that's the first thing that's permanent. Because the thing about roguelikes is you're balancing permanent and like not permanence. Like you want permanence so that the game eventually you can overcome the game. Mm-hmm. But then you want kind of like the randomness of having stuff get taken away from you.
Right.
Like this one, it has randomly generated levels, of course, which you get kind of like a pick system, or you pick where you want to try to go. The non-permanent things in this game is like you get money in each of the ships, mm-hmm. which is the gold in the bottom left corner, which you need to buy stuff like upgrades as you go. Like in each of the ships, there's like stores that pop up.
Yeah. Is it like twin stick?
And then your progress on the level. No, I'll explain that in a second. Your progress on each of the seconds gets restarted when you die. So if you don't like make it to the boss or whatever, you're done. What I like about first off, you get 3 major things. You get a gun. Well, of course, to shoot people.
Right.
You get your hook, which controls pretty easily. You can see it kind of aiming there, but it's also got a little bit of a kind of a auto aim factor to it. So like generally, if you're thinking in the direction you need to go and you're kind of pushing that way, you'll be fine. It's just on the right trigger. So you press a button to fire, and then you have a time on your left bumper, so you can slow stuff down. Right. And then you have your hook on your right trigger, which makes everything.
How do you shoot?
It's a button on the controller. Like jump and buttons. Your 2 different buttons on the controller, and then you have a sub-weapon button, which is your top button on the controller. And honestly, I don't even know what the B does right now.
So A is jump and what's shoot?
X. The fucking Gears of War controller I can't read the buttons on.
Right.
Keep asking me questions about the buttons. But it works out pretty smooth because everything's laid out in a way.
It does look a lot smoother watching you play than when I was watching like a trailer.
When they first teased the game, they teased it as Spiderman with a gun. So I mean, obviously the webs would be the hook, and then like your 6th sense is the time slowdown time.
So is this a boss?
No. Okay, so there's rooms that have enemies that spawn in like this, kind of like almost like a boss rush type thing. What they are is every time when you defeat them, it'll spawn a chest. That's most of the action in the game comes from these type of rooms.
So it's kind of similar to Enter the Gungeon in that fact, but...
Yeah, well, I mean, in Enter the Gungeon, you pretty much always have, like, enemies in the rooms.
Right.
This one also gives you a chest every time. These little beams are, like, they see you and they go after you. You have to keep your ass fucking moving.
So how do you get the chest from the... Oh, it's in the next one?
Well, that's what I'm saying, is that the chests are in the rooms with the enemies spawn in them.
Oh, okay.
Like, this won't be a chest room because they're not, like... They're just here.
What's that big ass chest?
It's not a chest, it's just a piratey looking thing.
This pirate's chest.
Yeah, it's just a... Let's see, like this will spawn a chest of some kind. In the top left corner, the 110 and the 70, it's your health. So like, I have 110 possible health.
Right.
I got 70 of my health. it seemed weird at first for me to have them list both of them, like your max also.
A lot of games used to do that.
But it kind of makes sense when you're like refilling your health and stuff to know like how you can actually get it. So you know like how much health you have.
The bombs don't feel...
This is a sub weapon I finally got.
The bombs don't feel as important as they seemed like they were on the...
What bombs?
Like the bombs you can throw?
Well, that's your sub weapon. That's what I got right now.
Right.
The sub weapons are another permanent unlock. You don't unlock them. You have to unlock the ability to get them.
Mm-hmm.
So like the only sub weapons that drop right now for me is I think pretty much just this bomb.
Right.
So it's really common.
What I'm saying though is
you have to slow down time to get through the bombs.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. There's a lot of weird stuff.
When I was
like
watching the trailer, it made it seem like the bomb was a lot more important.
I mean, it's super useful. You just don't get them enough to... It's good for killing... I fucking hate these guys. You don't fight these guys very much. Or I don't. They're one of those panic enemies where if like, if you know what you're doing, they're not hard.
Like if you weren't playing and talking?
Yeah, but they fucking get you. Alright, so... On the minor ships, there's sort of like a boss like that, like a hard enemy, and then like you come to these little hobbling treasure chests, and they're at the finale of the ship, and they give you a little thing that you have to mash the button to crush.
Oh yeah.
This little diamond, the blue diamond here, you need 3 of those to go to the boss ship, and those reset if you die. And then there was another thing that popped up for a second there. It's like a red square.
Yeah. Those
you collect. Those are used in the black market to unlock the permanent unlocks. So you kind of get like a little bit of kind of progress that you can lose and progress that you always gain.
Gotcha.
Part of the reason I like this game so much, even probably more so than Gungeon, is because the minute-by-minute gameplay, like when you restart the game, is already fun.
Right.
Your shooting enemies already feels good. That's part of the problem I had with Rogue Legacy is when you made it harder, it fucking was not fun to kill the enemies because they took too many hits.
Yeah.
And in Enter the Gungeon, when you restart, you know, there's that moment where you're weak, where you don't have a gun, and it takes fucking forever to shoot everything.
And the problem was Enter the Gungeon was so random that
you never knew when you were going to get your first unlock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's part of the reason why Binding of Isaac's so great is because you know you're going to get an unlock soon. You might get a shitty unlock, but you know when you're going to get them. But this one, because your gun's not terrible, the core kind of gameplay of the hooks are switching on me too. The core gameplay of fucking being able to wall jump, shoot stuff, it's all there already. So
right.
You know, you already have primary fun stuff unlocked right away. So it doesn't feel like you're weak at the start when you restart every time. So I think that's kind of why I'm really, really enjoying the game.
Man, I wish this game was on the Switch.
Yeah, so you already have the hook, and you already have the your weapon doesn't feel weak. You're not like constantly like, give me a better weapon.
I would play the shit out of this on the Switch.
It's definitely on PlayStation 4 and PC.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that game. I would. This is the type of game I would.
I don't know, man. This needs a really good controller. I think putting on a fucking Switch fucking would drive me
Yeah, but I don't
nuts.
have a problem with the Switch controller like you do.
Like, this gets really actiony. I mean, be like holding it up on a tablet is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but Binding Isaac's like that.
I don't know. This gets pretty fucking legit crazy.
Zelda. What I'm saying though too is like, even for me, like, I'm probably gonna move my Xbox, which will make me play my Xbox more. I'll move the Xbox onto my computer TV, like in my living room. So you'll probably hear this every once in a while, and especially if you guys follow me on Twitch, and I'm gonna probably start doing some YouTube live stuff. I have a TV, like the living room TV. Now I have a TV next to my computer I do my shit on.
Right.
And the Xbox is hooked up to that main TV. And I haven't even turned on my Xbox in a week or 2 weeks.
I'm gonna fucking die.
It also doesn't help that I'm playing PlayStation right now. That was nice. I'll tell you this though, a lot of these roguelite type games, I mean not necessarily Binding, but some of the other ones, I hate watching them. They're not very fun to watch, and they're kind of painful to watch, if that makes sense. Like, things don't look smooth. Like, trying to watch you play Rogue-lite was just painful.
Rogue Legacy?
Yeah, Rogue-lite.
Yeah.
Rogue Legacy was painful. The game wasn't smooth looking.
I'm really digging this. I think,
this might be one of the smoothest looking
at
games
this
I've seen in a
point,
while.
I think I'm putting this above Gungeon and below Isaac. Is where I think it's sitting. It's gonna depend on how, like, pretty much the difficulty curve is gonna make or break it, I think.
I mean, Binding Isaac's my favorite game of all time.
Well, I mean, I love Binding Isaac. Binding Isaac, I don't think something's gonna come along and beat Binding Isaac for me anytime soon. It's gonna take a lot of hours for a gameplay for that to happen.
The problem with, to me, that this game will
They
not...
also have a lot more development time and a lot more downloadable content added to Binding Isaac at this point.
Hold on. The reason why this game can't beat Binding Isaac to me...
What's that?
The story.
Oh,
Binding of Isaac has a crazy story.
That little fucking... When he drops in with the fucking...
Anchor?
Yeah. Well, I mean... You technically don't know the story of this game at this point.
But I'm saying, though, is Binding Isaac had that opening scene where you're just like... What?
Right. So yeah, there's like little shops here.
Yeah.
I didn't use any money on that last playthrough.
You could tell... I wonder if the developers... They might tell you. This game feels like it got a lot of inspiration from Enter the Gungeon, and kind of... Some of the stuff I didn't like about Enter the Gungeon, they, like, made better.
No idea.
Like, the stuff on the floor, like, you could destroy it in Enter the Gungeon, but it didn't do anything.
Right. Well, I think that was kind of make the gunfights more exciting in Enter the Gungeon, though. It was just like shit blowing up everywhere.
Right. I get that, but you know what I mean, though. I mean,
right.
It makes the gunfights interesting on this, and you get stuff. Because Enter the Gungeon felt unrewarding.
What was really funny
this
is that
already feels rewarding
because this is like because it's a pirate thief game. I was cracking up because that's Persona's also like about thieves. Like there's a whole thief fucking theme on it. So it's like all these games are like about fucking thieves right now.
Yeah.
That I'm playing.
Well, they're kind of like pirates going into people's mind and stealing.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. They're stealing treasure from people to change their innermost desires and stuff in Persona.
I like how
everything's thief based. There's like sneaking around and there's treasures to open and shit.
So I've always hated this, but I'm starting to respect this more in gameplay, and maybe it's just getting older. I always hated when things disappeared on the screen.
Well, a lot of that is memory limitations.
Right.
Because if you could perpetually put stuff on the screen, you can crash the game. Halo had that problem. The original Halo, some of the stuff wasn't...
Are you stealing his bubble?
Yeah, you have to... Sometimes they get bubbles. You have to grab them up. The original Halo, you could... It didn't know to, like...
Delete the guns?
No, I didn't know to... Well, that, but also, like, your dead bodies are, like, your friends.
Oh,
so you could go into co-op mode and keep killing each other over and over again.
Right.
And it would keep the bodies on the ground until eventually you would
crash the game
because you have memory problems and stuff. But yeah, a lot of that's you're making the game run smoother, you're getting rid of stuff. That's why these games have like weird body dissolves and shit because
I was talking about
they're trying to free up.
I was talking about the coins disappearing after.
I think it's doing that to keep you moving.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Before, like, I always hated that, but as now I'm starting to get to the point where it's a cool, like, oh, I gotta make sure you don't get complacent.
Yeah.
And
which you definitely do. I mean, my money's constantly fucking disappearing. It's also another thing that makes your power-ups better, because that power-up I have, like, where it zooms them in there.
Right.
Like, I mean, that gives it a reason for being, because
yeah.
I gotta get that money. So this is probably the final boss of this fucking shit.
But another thing, too, I've also gotten to the fact is knowing I don't have to pick up every single coin that gets dropped, because more is going to come eventually.
Yeah.
But in a game like Enter the Gungeon, there was such a limited amount of money drop.
Yeah, you needed money in that game all the time.
That it was almost the exact opposite.
I mean, you'll spend your money on this. You just don't ever feel like you don't get to a thing and go, God damn it, I don't have any money again.
Right.
Yeah, see, the green ones are permanent power-ups, which I'll do that before I'll do that. I'm gonna do that before we go to the end of the episode.
Okay.
I'm sure I got full health. I'm gonna keep this run going. You never know, this might be the best run ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. A lot of this game, yeah, see, I like these.
So it's like some a little harder and bigger?
Yeah, they got bigger levels and harder enemies. I like the fly one infestation because they're easy to kill. So I know I'm going to have a fucking ton of them to kill. It'll limit the other type of enemies I have to deal with. That's just what I feel like when the last time I tried one of these. The fly axes are the little buzzing fly things.
That you fall at the end of the
they have axes on their heads and they fly. They're fly axes.
That's awesome.
It's these things.
Yeah, you fought a couple of those.
Yeah, there's bigger versions of them. You can see the axes better on them. But they'll be like everywhere.
I really like the look of your guy.
He's like a guy. He has a ghost on his head.
It's an actual ghost.
There's like lore in the game that teaches you what everything is, like who they are and stuff. Kind of gives you backstory.
Is it just reading stuff?
Well, you collect it as you go. Like you know how I found the shop. Like you'll find a place that has like a book, and it gives you more backstory as you find them. But he's
Continue.
I don't think they have I'm not sure I have the full story yet because you're not supposed to. It's spoiler anyways. But it is like you're supposed to be saving these little ghost guys that got separated. That's like what the final bosses all have. It's kind of like saving Toad from all the castles type of thing.
Right.
Except they're little ghosts in bottles, which look really cool. But it's like a ghost on his head. You see when he dies, he like will like zoom up, and I think he basically is saving your life, or respawning you or whatever.
That has always been the thing I have hated in video games. And it might be a generational thing.
What's that?
Is I hate when they don't tell you the story and make you read the story.
Well, I mean, it's something to look forward to in this one. There is a story. In fact, the intro in this game is probably worth $5 alone just to watch it. Like the intro cutscene is pretty great. It's just,
but like
they kept some things secret. Isaac does it too.
But they don't make you read it. I hate having to go into a menu and read like cards and stuff like that. Now, luckily for what you made, it's not as bad. But like some games recently have like made you collect things and like go to something else.
Destiny was the worst about that. You had to go like a whole other site.
Yeah.
This is gonna be hard. So I'm gonna have to fucking.
See, this is what I was worried about.
Yeah. There's
a
few things that are like this in this game that
you kind of bounce on it.
There's
so it's not as bad.
Some hardcore platforming elements along the way, but the thing is you just re-roll your ships and try an easier level. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean,
man, I wish we were at my house right now a little bit so I could pull up this Steam game I have right now. There's a game on Steam. I mean, this game's 100 times better than that.
Yeah.
But it kind of reminds me. They're very similar.
Fuck, I gotta go back. He's spawned over here. Fuck you, beams.
It's a very similar kind of thing. Platformer, rogue-lite shooter.
Yeah, honestly, the only thing I could see in the long run getting sick of is hopefully the ships eventually differentiate. It's hitting the pirate theme pretty hard. Like, I'm hoping once I get past like the boss, like at least hopefully the later ships aren't the same kind of look all the time.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten past the first boss yet, so.
Right.
It's a worry, but it's not like based on anything.
It's a more of a.
They definitely they didn't go for like a inside joke retro like pop culture thing with this game.
Mm-hmm.
Like all the other fucking like Gungeon and Binding Isaac have lots of references. This game feels really, really fleshed out in their world. Like they don't want you to be like, oh yeah, this is like DuckTales or whatever, you know what I mean? Like this game's
Yeah.
fully realized. Like, the bosses aren't like an inside fucking joke or anything. Which I respect that, because everybody's doing that right now. Everybody's doing the inside joke thing. Because that's what Binding of Isaac is. Isaac's either pop culture reference or a poo joke or character from another game that he made. Like all the bosses.
Isn't a lot of that because of Binding of Isaac?
Or really disturbing shit. Or actual disturbing shit. And then Gungeon's mostly pop culture references.
Yeah. Or gun references, just straight up gun references.
Right. These fucking guys.
Isn't some of that because of Binding of Isaac, though?
I don't know. I mean, it's a pretty obvious thing to do when you're making like a little arcade game to. Cause that's like that Grand Theft Auto style game that came out. That was like based on an old school Grand Theft Auto. I can't remember what it's called. That's what that game's like too. It's like a bunch of. The Blob game was like that too. A bunch of fucking joke references about everything all the time. But then you get a game like Shanti's Curse, and it's like a fully realized world.
Never played Shanti's Curse.
Shanti's fucking great. Half Genie.
Yeah, I couldn't get into the... it's hard. It's too hard.
It is hard. I don't know.
I mean, I've gotten to the point where I've gotten better at games, so...
The hardest thing about Shanti, when I played it, was you could get confused on where to go next. Like, it's a platformer for a while, and then you have to figure out where to go next. Like, it has like every other step in the game is you're either going through a level of platforming, or the next step is figure out how to get to the next level. Well, and every time it does that, you get to a point where you're like, what the fuck do I need to do to get to the next level?
But to me, the platforming it was really difficult.
I could see that. I mean, you're not like a hardcore platformer gamer either. So.
No, I don't like. I don't want to say I don't like platformers, because I enjoy them. But if there's too much difficulty to me, it's just...
Yeah, stay away from Wonder Boy then, because Wonder Boy is supposed to be stupid hard.
Yeah, I read that. That's why I didn't buy it.
Wonder Boy's probably going to be harder than Shovel Knight.
I'm clamoring for something on the Switch.
Yeah, it's a rough time to be a Switch fan if you're done with Zelda.
And the problem is, I'm not done with Zelda. I'm just kind of done with Zelda, if that makes sense.
I guess.
I don't know, something about it just... I fucked up playing it by turning that thing off.
Fuck.
The annoying sound, the annoying beeping sound, and not be able to find stuff. And then I just fucked myself. So now
all I gotta do is go back and keep playing it.
Yeah, I know, but it just feels like I'm wandering around, and I don't...
Well, that's what the game is. It's like wandering around and enjoying the world. That's all of what that game is.
I'm kind of burnt out on the world right now, that's what I'm saying.
You'd have a fuck ton of money.
So is that just for right now, or is that a permanent?
I think those are temporary. I'm pretty sure all the stuff you buy in here is
Wallace
temporary.
hat, it's a trucker hat. That's pretty funny.
Like the, the relic, that relic will be in my collection. That was added to my, that's like the lore I was talking about, the stuff that you buy you can go read about.
Oh, so the lore stuff you have to buy?
Yeah, it's stuff you get in levels. There's stuff you get, there's like library pages you can get too, like you come up on, areas that are books, and then there's relics, and then there's achievements, and they're all kind of in the same area that you look at. Like, it's all basic permanent collectibles that you can get.
Yeah. That guy looks like the guy from, Thor looks like the guy from, Imaginary Friends.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Fuck. No idea. I've seen that show like 3 times ever.
What was it? I should pull up this. Exit.
I still haven't figured out the like progression rhythm I like in this game.
Oh no, it's
oh good fuck. Like I haven't gotten to where I like explore every room or anything. Like I just kind of go to the end. It's probably not a good idea. I know when we were playing No More Heroes or whatever. Yeah. Oh, Has Been Heroes.
That guy.
Yeah. I was I got used to fucking
trying to explore everything.
Yeah, well, no, that's you have to in Has Been Heroes in order to fucking you have to fucking hit like every goddamn thing you can.
So I really enjoyed Has Been Heroes and really
it's too
hated
fucking
it.
hard.
Yeah, this was about to say.
That's pretty much it. Like I liked the game, but it was too hard. So like I played probably 20 hours of Gungeon, and then the only thing I had a problem with is every time I started over again, I got sick of fucking the slow guns. Because you start over with the fucking basic gun.
The Enter the Gungeon, the fact you might not actually unlock anything was really terrible too.
Well, I mean, you kind of always had progression in that game.
No, there was no permanent progression.
Yeah, there was. It had the thing progressed in it.
The what?
It had progression. Constantly. You unlock new stuff that you can find throughout the game.
Yeah, but it's like there was no way when you started the game. It was just such a crapshoot on whether you're gonna get a gun in the first level. And if you didn't get a gun, you couldn't beat the boss. I mean, you could sometimes, but
I got to this guy once, and he beat my ass. I almost had him. I was really close. Almost had him though. All right. Well, we'll see you on the next episode because I'm going to do a daily run for the next episode.